Okay, Vortex. I'm really gonna try to say this in the briefest way. Okay? Because I've attempted to say this, but you know me, we go in about 15 to 35 different directions. Okay, so, something that inspired me to do this channel, something that inspired me to, be the badass that I am, my mental illness, okay? I don't look at things the same way that everybody else does. So, I figured out a long time ago, like when I was 6, I think, I figured out that, everything in America was the opposite, and this is the worst country in the world, and everybody that thinks it's good is just living in a bubble, okay? Well, now in certain regards, it is good if you have blinders on and you don't pay any attention to all the people that suffer at the hands of the government, because you don't have to deal with that because, what, you have money or something? Well, mental illness is something that has always existed since the beginning of time, okay? Mental illness is something that America in particular has capitalized on. I'm gonna turn the car off. I'm wasting gas, and I'm low on gas anyway. But anyway, so mental illness is always like misunderstood. Okay? It's misunderstood by the people that have it, and it's misunderstood by the people that have to deal with it in relation to like family and friends and coworkers and all that. So, don't forget neighbors. Neighbors! That's true. You ever have a mentally ill neighbor? That's fun, right? That's me. That's me playing music at 3 o'clock in the morning in the kitchen. But making a pot of coffee at 4 a.m. Because I'm up all night, not because I'm waking up early, alright? But, yeah, so mental illness is always something that has, like, been kind of this conundrum to society. People don't know how to deal with it. Now, it started with hysteria. Hysteria is actually Greek for uterus. Isn't that funny? This is interesting what I'm about to tell you. You probably never heard this before. Somebody in church told me this, okay? That back in the day, women were so hysterical and doctors didn't know what else to do. So they would massage their clitoris and it would relieve their, like, hysteria. And that's how, like, the first vibrator came about. So they came out with these machines because these doctors didn't want to do it anymore, because I don't know if you know this, but doctors are lazy. But yeah, they didn't want to do that anymore. And so they invented these devices that could just masturbate women for them, right? That's why they came out with that thing, I think it was in like the 50s or 60s, that it was like a bathtub massager or whatever. But it was obvious what was going on, but like they had to advertise it like it was something totally innocent. But yeah, so doctors back in the day relieved the symptoms of hysteria from females by getting them off. All right? That used to be medicine. That used to be like what... I mean, think about that. And don't be like, oh, we've come so far. Not really. Not really. Now everybody just takes pills for everything. It's not much of an improvement. Pills that have really dangerous side effects that literally kill people. They kill the people that use them, and they kill other people because of the people that use them. Okay? So, no. Fuck you, and fuck you again. Do your fucking research before you come at me about this medication shit. Anyway, I feel sorry for people that take medication because they're clearly brainwashed. They do it because I don't know, they want to fit in or something. Maybe they've exhausted their other efforts. I have no right to tell somebody, like, oh, get off your medication or whatever the fuck. I'm not going to do that anyway because I don't tell people what to do. But at the same time, the reason why so many people believe in medication and the reason why so many people, like, don't even bat an eye, you know, when, like, somebody that they know commits suicide and, like, people don't even ask the question, like, were they on anything, you know? They always assume it's some other drug. But no, it was just lexapro. But anyway, people don't know how to deal with emotions, okay? That's why they do whatever they possibly can to run away from them. They subdue them. They get rid of them altogether. And it's not just like people that take the drugs. It's people that have to deal with those people that take the drugs. Okay? So, family members, friends, coworkers. I don't know if neighbors get involved, but they might. They probably will in the future, right? But yeah, it's like, if you don't understand how to deal with something, and say you have a daughter, like me, who's obviously got problems, right? Like, the reason why I'm so, like, knowledgeable about so many things is because of the fact that I did my own research. Like, anything that you want, you have to do it yourself, okay? You cannot rely on other people, and that's why everybody's such a miserable sack of shit, because they expect everybody to do shit for them. They expect a doctor, a therapist, a politician, an educator, media personnel. It's like, when are they ever going to do anything for themselves, dude? But yeah, it's that social contagion. Society is so lazy, and they're so naive about so many things, and they can't just admit, no, I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know how to deal with this, and you make me uncomfortable right now. They don't know how to just be Terrence McKenna. See, me and Terrence, I'm sure we'd be the best of friends, because there's just so many things that we understand about the human condition that I feel like most people don't, and all they do is run away from it because they're fucking pussies, man. So many people are pussies. And yeah, if you just say, like, oh, well, if you're a trans person, you're, like, being possessed by a demon and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, a lot of them are, but the solution to this isn't, like, let's treat them like shit and be homophobic and transphobic or whatever the fuck. You're gonna get accused of that no matter what. So it's kind of stupid to be like, I'm gonna be, like, the most homophobic person ever and say faggot over and over and over again. And, you know, like, you're not helping anything. Like, my whole thing is, like, I really want to help people. And if what I'm doing isn't helping, then I need to stop doing it. Period. And it's just ridiculous that people have the chutzpah to say they're Christian. That's right. That's right. I'm using a Jew word to describe you because you're a fucking Jew. Because you act just like this fucking world, dude. And I can say that because my best friend's a Jew. And she said tonight, like, we were talking about Holocaust denial, right? And she was like, who cares? Like, why can't you let this person have their own opinion? I really do an amazing impression of her. But she's really the greatest person. She's my favorite person. After me, of course. I'm Jesus. So it's Jesus, and then it's me, and then it's my Jewish friend. Isn't that kind of weird? It's a little bit ironic, but anyway, yeah, so people don't want to deal with problems, and so they rely on professionals to deal with those problems, and those professionals make the problems way worse. And then they want to whine about it and say, why is this happening? Why is this happening? So I was watching the trailer to that documentary with Matt Walsh, that, like, What is a Woman documentary or whatever. And, you know, I'm never going to watch that movie, but, like, it's just obvious that, like, what they're doing is wrong. You know, it's obvious, like, all this stuff, it really doesn't need to be said or, like, exposed or anything like that. But, you know, a lot of people that, like I said, I feel like they don't read the Bible. If they have, they don't read it enough because they don't understand that, like, exposing these people doesn't do anything at all. Calling somebody out for being a Zionist shill is not going to stop them from being a Zionist shill, okay? You don't have any Jews that have stopped working in the media. You don't have psychiatrists retiring. Like, there's not going to be psychiatrists retiring because of what I'm doing, okay? Like, effective. Are you being effective? Like, what? So you're just saying stuff to, like, puff yourself up and act like, oh, you're some kind of rebel badass all because you said something that pissed off the elite. That's not good enough. I mean, if it doesn't change anything, then, like, what are you doing? It's just for you. It's just for your ego. And I'm talking to people that I like. I'm talking to people that I respect a lot and I think are really great. And I admire them in a lot of ways. But in other ways, I think they're sheep and I think that they're just as stupid as everybody else. Okay? Because if you're, like, constantly on social media and you're always, like, looking for, like, the next thing to obsess about or the next thing to, like, make yourself look really relevant, you know, I mean, you're such a waste of space. Like, it's just so shocking that, I mean, if they had self-awareness, they'd kill themselves. I swear they would. But, I think that there's a lot of people out there that they don't want to deal with a lot of stuff. And so they don't have any empathy or compassion because, like I said, they're not real Christians. Okay, you cannot be a Christian and not have empathy. You cannot, like, Christianity does not exist without empathy. Okay? So if you don't have compassion, you are not a Christian. Like, and it doesn't matter. Well, all these people, but no, it doesn't matter. You're letting your ego get in the way of helping somebody, all because you don't want to look bad. All because you don't want to be seen with some trans person or some shit like that. It's just ridiculous, dude. I'm friends with everybody, okay? And here's the thing, like, mental illness is not going to go away because you throw pills at it, because you send this person to a therapist's office or a psychiatric hospital, okay? And it's not going to go away by you saying, oh, those people are possessed, they have demons or whatever. Like, it's going to go away by you being compassionate towards that person. And even if it doesn't go away, it will definitely lessen and not be anywhere near as severe. Like, I have gender dysphoria myself, but I don't, you know, have to act on that, you know? But it's like, you have any idea, like, how frustrating it is to talk to people about schizophrenia and have them, like, just deny, like, everything that I've experienced my entire life, all because they don't understand it? All because they don't want to look bad. Because they've been brainwashed their entire life to believe the education system, to believe the media, to believe all authority figures, the same authority figures that rig every single election, the same authority figures that tell you that a biological woman can just say goodbye to her genitals and just, like, become a man. Okay, those same people are telling you what schizophrenia is and that you should be scared of people like us. Okay? So no, I don't give a shit. Like, you're a fucking piece of shit hypocrite. and nobody should take you seriously. But unfortunately, because we live in a world full of plebeian sheep, there are going to be plenty of people that pay you to be terrible. Unfortunately, yeah, right. Anyway. Ugh. But what I was trying to get at about mental illness is that the only way to really deal with these things is to face them like a man and figure it out. People don't want to do that because they're weak-minded. And they don't want to look like a crazy person. I'm not going to say what I was about to say because it's mean. Because I always, whenever I, like, get mean, like, that's when I start, like, I want to say stuff that is real, like, mind-fucky. And I'm like, don't say that. Internalized comment. And I do that all the time. My whole life. That's the story of my life, internalizing comments. And that's why I do stand-up comedy. And that's why I'm a lot wiser than everybody on Twitter.